ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Welcome. Nice to see you all, most of you. Nice to see all of you. We have around how many devotees? 13 devotees on the Zoom, and we have 5 devotees who have come physically, personally to the temple. Of course, all are welcome to come. And today I just was hearing that everything has opened up, so temple is already open. Let's recite the Shikshastakam before we take the second verse today. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavadavagnirvapanam Shreyakairavachandrika vitaranam Vidyavadhu jivanam Anandambudivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita swadanam Sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrishamiha Janinanuragaha Trinadapi Sunichena Taroriva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sada Hari Nadanam Najanam Nasundari Kavitam Va Jagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatad Bhakti Rahe Tuki Tvai Ainandatanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddho Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Sitaduli Sadrisham Vichintaya Nayanam Galadashrudaraya वदनं गद्गदहृदया गिरा पुलकैर्निचितं वपुः कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्राविशायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्द विरहेण मे आश्लिष्य वा पादरतां पिनस्तु माम् अदर्शनान् मर्महतां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु सेवनापरः हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे So once again, welcome to our Shikshastakam sessions. As we know that these 8 are the essential verses that Mahaprabhu gave, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for us to practice and follow. There is some little bit understanding about Krishna's glory in this and the effect of chanting of the holy names and all the stages. The verse 1 is knowing the power of the holy name or the glory of the holy name or the Lord's name's power. And the second verse is telling us the misfortune or the unfortunate situation that we are in. Although the holy name is so great, so merciful, still we are not able to access it. It's something like if your tongue is plastic coated, then no matter how sweet is the item, dish, you can't really relish it. So there is a thin layer, Maya Javanika Channam. There is a thin layer of Maya, of these offenses, of these anarthas, that's not allowing us. From Krishna's point of view, it is thin, but from our point of view, it is very thick. It is very difficult to overcome that. And therefore, in this Shikshastakam, Mahaprabhu also gives the solution or the way to overcome our anarthas, overcome our offenses, so that we could relish the chanting. And what is the effect of relishing? That also is explained by Mahaprabhu. As it says, Purve Ashta Shloka Kari Loke Shiksha Dila. That Mahaprabhu composed these 8 shlokas for giving the instruction to the world that how to practice bhakti. And say Ashta Shloker Artha Apane Aswadila. And to also personally relish. It's not that we only distribute, but we also relish what we are distributing. And last time we were in the second verse. The second verse is how Lord has invested all his energies in the holy name. Like when we call somebody's name as Pratibha. Now her name may be Pratibha, but that just the name may not carry much weight. She has to be actually something qualified, and the person will carry, or the post that she is having will carry some potencies. But with Krishna's names, even in this world, we know that some people's name only carries weight. मेरे नाम बता दो, काम हो जाएगा. That the moment you said, do you know who I know? And you just dial. Previously, it would have been Bal Sahib Thackeray. And if you guys can show, just see whose name I have in my contact list. Then just the name would have sorted many things. In fact, once when Krishna was caught by Mother Yashoda, not Mother Yashoda, one Gopi, then the Gopi was asking, "What's your name? Naam kya hai tumhara?" So Krishna, he wanted to use some powerful name by which this Gopi will get scared and she will not trouble him. So he said, I am Balanuj. I am the younger brother of Balram. The meaning is that Balram is one who is very powerful. And whenever Krishna used to play with his friends, when he used to not get his turn to say, like in today's parlance, say, "Mujhe batting karna hai," or to play the primary role, then Krishna used to say, "मैं मेरे भाई को बता दूंगा." मुन्ना भाई नहीं, बलदाओ. And then the kids used to get scared. So Krishna used to use this technique of telling that मैं मेरा भाई का नाम लूंगा तो काम हो जाएगा. And but with the Gopi, she was not afraid of Balramji. Balramji is a small little boy. Another reason Vishwanath Thakur, not Bilomangal Thakur says is that because Balram is known as a very nice boy. He's not known as a naughty boy. Although he also takes part, he's not known as, he's known as a nice boy. So if I am the brother of a nice boy, then I am also nice. So like that Krishna was, he said, I am Balanuj. मैं बलराम जी का छोटा भाई. So Krishna also used his name in different contexts. And as I said, in this world, some people's name may be powerful, but that too for a short time, until they are existing or till they are in power. But once they lose the power, then their power is gone. The power in their name is gone. But Krishna never loses his position of being God, because it's not a appointed position. Somebody was asking a few weeks back, Prabhuji, if everything is made by God, who made God? भगवान को किसने बनाया? A very common question. And what do you say? भगवान को किसी ने बनाया नहीं, उन्होंने सबको बनाया. नहीं, ऐसा कैसे? सबको बनाया तो भगवान को भी किसी ने तो बनाना चाहिए. So I gave two examples. One is that this electricity is coming from some powerhouse, and that is coming from some other powerhouse. Ultimately, all the electricity is coming from sun. Where is the sun getting its electricity from? Himself. ऐसा नहीं कि सूरज में तेज कहीं और से आ रहा है, and the sun is also paying a bill. No, sun is self-effulgent. Then another example, something more on the ground. I said, do you work in a company? Yes. Who pays you salary? Say, my HR guy. Does he get salary? Yes, he gets from his superior. Who pays him? Some other superior. Ultimately, it ends in the boss, the MD or the CEO. Does anyone pay the CEO? No one pays the CEO. CEO is generating wealth. He is not paid by someone else. So even in this world, everybody is paid salary, whoever is employed. But the employer, for the employer, it's about profits and losses. It's not about salaries and debts. So Krishna, because he is self-effulgent, so he has invested all his energy into the holy name. And depending on how much we can access that name, that much Krishna's glory, Krishna's power, Krishna's sweetness is revealed in Krishna's names. So, and in this verse, we were discussing about that our unfortunate position that, O Lord, Durdaivam, that because of being unfortunate, not having your blessings, Daiva means Lord, Durdaiva means not having the Lord's grace upon us. Iha jani na anuraga. I don't have a taste in your chanting of your names. And last time we were discussing that why doesn't God bestow his grace upon us? And the reason is that of offenses, that when we commit namaparad, when there are certain offenses to the holy names, when we are doing that as we are chanting, then we don't get the proper results. I remember in our college days, IIT Bombay, we all used to do this experiment, acceleration due to gravity, G. G ka value find out karo, or many things. And if you don't follow the procedure, laboratory conditions have to be proper. Then we used to have some experiments of optics, laser optics. Jahan pe there should be no vibration. Now we don't feel vibrations now, but when you use lasers, then any small, even right now, the earth is moving. And because the earth is moving, it is not a very smooth. We feel it is very smooth, but there is slight tremors everywhere. But the lasers, when you use lasers, that time you can kind of see. So there are tables that literally float by magnetism, on which you have to do those experiments. And only after all these conditions, then the results come. So there are not such a hard and fast conditions for chanting, but there are some, as Jayadvaita Maharaj says, some soft and slow conditions. थोड़ा तो नियम है भगवान के नाम जप में, and these are described in the Padma Puran as the 10 offenses. In the biblical tradition, there are the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not do this, thou shalt not do this. With the chanting of the holy names, we have, these are our 10 commandments. These are 10 offenses, what we should not do. And of course, even Jesus, after these 10, he said, but the ultimate instruction is to love God and love your neighbor. So, and hallowed be thy name. You all know, here in Churchgate, there is a school called as Holy Name High School. I had once gone for a Christian celebration there, interfaith meeting. I was surprised to see, just I think after metro के थोड़ा आगे जाएंगे तो उधर right में है Holy Name High School. So in all traditions, the Lord's name is very much glorified. So the first offense we discussed last time was that those who are dedicated their life, Satam Ninda. Is it visible? Okay. Let me make it even bigger. Satam Ninda, that those who are sadhus, those who are, I think it is, वो कट हो रहा है, वो ऑनलाइन केस में थोड़ा कट होगा. नहीं तो थोड़ा सा नहीं ना, आई कैन सी दिस ऑनलाइन कहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है. Yeah, now it's proper. Satam Ninda is offending or not respecting the devotees, the Vaishnavas. And we had very elaborately discussed the 6 types of offenses, 6 ways in which we could, where is that verse? Yeah. Andanti nindati Vaidveshti Vaishnavanam Nabhinandati. Let me go take the English translation. One who kills a devotee, one who blasphemes a devotee, one who is envious of a devotee, one who fails to offer obeisances to a devotee on seeing, one who is angry with a devotee, and one who is not joyful upon seeing a devotee. Of course, not all offenses have the same degree of offense. It's like, as you can see, killing is the most strongest. There are episodes where devotees have been harassed, have been killed, have been troubled, because most of the world is following the other way. And yeah, we also saw the rectification. Rectification is that to be repentful. If you have troubled any devotee, knowingly or unknowingly, to repent, try to remember Krishna. Oh, sorry, this is offense 2. Yeah. So this was a solution that was offered, that try to use the tendency to find faults towards yourself. The tendency has to be diverted, has to be dovetailed to find your own faults first before you try to find faults with others. Be introspective, try to find faults. And others have a role, but not that they can fully influence your own life. They cannot harm you unless you harm yourself. One minute. Did I skip that? This is Bhakti Thakur. This is his quote. I just put into 4 lines. He says, when faults in others misguide and delude you, then one should have patience. Sometimes we become very impatient that I need to solve this. Have patience, be introspective. To be introspective of what? To find faults in oneself and know that others cannot harm you unless you harm yourself. That he, like Sati, she became very troubled when her father Daksha didn't respect Shiva, and she took up it upon herself so much that she lit fire upon her own body. So yes, Daksha has offended Shiva, but the solution to that is not that you destroy your own life. That when we take the others' trouble as really influencing you, that's when we are allowing it to be disturbed by it. But when we don't take offense, with Shamik Rishi was not offended. His son Shringi was offended. Snake किसके ऊपर डाला था? Snake was put on Shamik Rishi. He didn't feel offended. He didn't feel harmed. But Shringi felt harmed, offended, because he saw that as an offense. He saw that as some kind of blasphemy. So even so, our Srivas Thakur, when outside his home, when some people wanted to malign his name, then they put all this, Durga Pujas, all kind of non-vegetarian, alcohol, other things. So that time he didn't try to justify himself. He tried to show everyone, see, you all were saying this is what I do, but nobody believed him because he didn't take that as somebody is trying to malign him. So yes, somebody may put, even with, I think, with Narendra Modi, sometimes people have said, you are a donkey, गधा है वो. So he has said, हाँ मैं धोबी का गधा हूँ, सबका कपड़ा धोने के लिए हेल्प कर रहा हूँ. So things like that. Like somebody may throw something at us, but only when we take it in the wrong way, then we feel offended, we feel troubled. Dhruv Maharaj, his mother, his stepmother, she said, "You cannot be a king, you cannot be a prince because you're not born from me." And he was angry and he was feeling very, very agitated. And then mother, his real mother, Suniti, she said, "Go and approach Vishnu because he can solve the problem." And then once he approached Vishnu, then he understood that the position that I was aspiring for is not something very nice. It's a very temporary position. But the position at the lotus feet of the Lord is much more permanent and much more. But obviously, he got a very big planet, much bigger than anything that his father had. So others cannot harm you unless you. So how do we see that? We can see that as that person is disturbed, so he's just throwing the disturbance on us, or we can see that he's actually, we take it very personal. So when we don't take things personally, we see that he's having some kind of trouble, then we are able to. There is a nice class Madan Gopal who gave on offenses a few weeks back, Bhagavatam class. So it's a very amazing class about this aspect. That is, it's not just that committing offense, our responsibility is also not to take it as an offense. Lord Shiva didn't take it as an offense, so there was no trouble in the Vaishnava community. But Parvati took it as an offense and there was a trouble in the Vaishnava community. So Vaishnava offense happens for Krishna's point of view, yes, it is there. But even at our level, many times we have so much expectation about respect, then we see it as offense. Then when we see it as offense, then Krishna takes it even more strongly.
A minor quality to inculcate would be humble.
Yes.
So basically it comes to that only, that if we feel that somebody is offending us and then we retaliate and take it as
it is, we harm ourselves, we harm the other person.
So it is better to inculcate the quality of being humble.
Yes. That's why the next verse is that the way to overcome this whole bubble is that we become humble. We try to respect other devotees. So today we'll take the rest of the offenses to the holy name. This is in Padma Puran. Guror Avagya. What is Guror Avagya? To disregard the spiritual master who is established in all the truths regarding the holy name, consider him to be an ordinary man possessing a yes, someone.
आप कैसे हो? अभी दवाइयाँ खा रहे हैं तो एकदम नशा चढ़ गया.
Mute all. Yeah, I've done that. And also remove the permissions to unmute. Yeah. So considering him to be an ordinary man possessing a perishable body composed of material elements is the third offense against the holy name. So to disrespect the spiritual master. Now one was disrespecting devotees. Another is disrespecting Guru, which is also an offense. To disregard Guru. And what does it, how do we overcome that? That always think of the transcendental qualities of the Guru, that what qualities of transcendence he has, of transcendentalism he has, his absorption in Krishna or his absorption in his own Guru Nishtha. Overcome his external shortcomings. Everyone has some faults or others in the external sense, and not to chant mantras given by the Guru is also, if you have taken Diksha, then that disrespect his seat, say Vyasasan is there. So they're not placing anything. Say we don't place Mridanga. It's not used as a storing place. It's a Guru's seat, so it is also equally respectable. His shoes, his tadiya, personal items, instructions, these all have to also be respected. It's not just his bodily respect, but all these items also to be respected. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, he composed this beautiful poem, shloka, about what has Guru given us. If any of you heard Vakreshwar Pandit Prabhu's Guru Puja, it's a very nice. Let me just play it. Just the starting I'll play. Share sound.
नामश्रेष्ठम् अनुमपे स्वचिपुत्रम् मत्रा स्वरूपम् रूपम् तस्याग्रजा उरुपुरीम् मतुलिङ्गोष्ठवतीम् राधा कुण्डम् गिरिवरमोहो राधिकामारवसम् प्राप्तो यस्या प्रतिता कृपया श्रीगुरुम् नाम्नतोऽस्मि Shri Guru Charana Parama Ghe.
Vakreshwar Pandit Prabhu is a very famous singer in ISKCON. Yeah. It is said that whenever he sings, it rains. And I have literally seen in many Rath Yatras in the US that whenever he has come and sung, at least 2-3 Rath Yatras I have seen. He's such a powerful singer. So there is this very old audio file where he is singing Guru Puja, and in that he sings this verse before he starts. So this is a verse written by, as you can see, Raghunath Das Goswami in Mukta Charita. He is saying that what has all Guru given me? So he says that Nama Shreshtam. So the first thing that the Guru gave us is the opportunity to chant the holy names. So he has given me so many things. The highest conception of the holy name of Krishna, which is the highest form of sound, which contains the highest form of thought, aspiration, ideal, everything. And he has given me the service of the great Savior, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is Api Sachi Putram, Atra Swarupam. And Swarupa is another devotee known as Swarup Damodar Goswami, who is direct Shiksha Guru. Like we have Diksha Guru and we have Shiksha Guru. So for Raghunath Das Goswami, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is his Diksha Guru, who has given him the mala, he gave him the shila to worship. But Swarup Damodar Goswami is his Shiksha Guru. So he is offering obeisance and he is saying that the Guru has given him these two. And also Rupam. Rupa is Rupa Goswami. By the Guru's mercy, I have got Srila Rupa Goswami's association. Tasya Agrajam is Sanatan Goswami. And then Urupuri. Urupuri is Mathurapuri, the greatest place to be in, which is Mathura. Goshtavatim is to the residence there. And not just there, but in Radhakund. He has given me residence in the Radhakund, the opportunity to be near Govardhan, and also the Radhika Madhavasam. this verse is nice, which will the Mathura Mandala, which will help me in my remembrance of Radha and Govinda whenever I shall cast my glance. By his grace, Gurudev has revealed the super excellent position of Radha Kund, the favorite place of Radha and Govinda for their pastimes, and the great Govardhan. Lastly, he has given me the hope that one day I can get the service of Shishi Radhava, Radhika, Madhav. I have given all these assurances. I've been given all these assurances by my Gurudev. So I bow my head with all my respects to his lotus feet. So Prabhupada often says that Guru is not somebody like a status symbol, that I am also now Diksha ho gayi mera. But Guru is somebody who is taking us to the highest realms. Even in the Mangalarti, that's what is we are singing, that the position of the Guru. If you are conscious of that, then we will be more conscious of Krishna. So to not see Guru in a mundane sense, and Ramanacharya also has given many different types of ways in which we may find fault with Guru. One is his Rupa. Based on his bodily form, we may kind of judge, oh, he is Western, he is Indian, he is my particular caste Guru, or my language. So one should avoid all kinds of materialistic calculations, that he is the Guru for this particular person. So if I become his Guru, by his disciple, then no, I can contact that person. So all these kinds of things should be given up. And for that, the rectification is offer pranams, beg forgiveness, to be more aware and not commit such an offense to the Guru. Then the fourth offense is Shruti Shastra Nindanam. So the Guru is only speaking from the Shastras. You may not criticize the Guru, but if you criticize the scriptures, which is the Vedas, that's also considered an offense. I was just hearing Prabhupada, and he was telling that when someone goes in the ocean, he had gone in the Jaraduta. So he used to hear from the captain where we are. Otherwise, all over there is water. He can't make out on his own that are we moving ahead or not. Like even in flight, once we sit, whether it's a 1 hour flight or it's a 20-hour flight, we don't know. Sometimes in the international flight, there is this map in front of you by which you can make out where you are. But in those times, there is no self way to gauge. You just depend on the captain. And the captain is telling, now we have crossed Cochin, now we are near Morocco, now we are near, say, Cape Town. And then, and you need to depend on the Guru because he's the one who is guiding you. But the Guru also, Prabhupada was saying, but the captain also is not just speculating. His Prabhupada was saying that he had a map. And based on the map and based on the position of the stars and based on the speed and the timing, he was telling. So, and that map is made by all the experienced captains in the past, those who traveled, all of them have compiled that map, referring that the captain is speaking. So even the captain is not an independent guy who is just depend on me. He is also dependent on a higher, a more powerful source of information, and that's what is parampara. So same way the Guru is taking the scriptures, making it very palatable, digestible, and giving us. But the fourth offense is to find fault with the Vedas, the Puranas, that are in the mode of goodness. Some are considered to be the lower modes and other scriptures. So Prabhupada writes this as to blaspheme the scriptures or those in pursuance of the scriptures. Once, this lady called as Joan of Arc. There was in Europe, there is a lady who was a preacher called as Joan of Arc. And once Prabhupada was asked, Swamiji, you are speaking about that this Bhagavatam, there are these Mahajans. But even in other places, we have so many that have dedicated their life for God. And there is this Joan of Arc, a very devout lady who fought entire war to save people from irreligion. And once Prabhupada heard her story, then said, then she is also a Mahabhagavat. And so it's not just to restrict ourselves that, of course, the Vedas are the most prominent, but therefore Prabhupada added to blaspheme the Vedas or anything that is in pursuance of the Vedas, anything that is in alignment with the Vedas. If somebody is blaspheming, recently Govind Prabhu gave this talk about veganism and vegetarianism. So one of the pitfalls of being veganism is that you start to put down anything that is spoken about being a vegetarian, say taking milk from the cows or taking service from the bulls. So all this is seen as crime, injustice to the animals. But whereas in the Vedic, in the scriptures, all the animals are used in different ways. And one of the amazing points he was saying was that nobody likes to be just pampered and just everybody likes to be have a feeling of contribution, including animals. So if the cows don't feel a contribution that they are doing something, the bulls don't feel, then their self-image, then their connection to God is limited. So in the Vedic culture, there was a proper harmony, not creating injustice, over abuse of anything. At the same time, ensuring that whatever best anyone has to be utilized it, that aspect. So when we take some kind of modern theories, philosophies that are against the Vedic norm, against the Vedic scriptures, then that becomes offense to the holy name. Sometimes we remove Krishna from the picture, that there is no need for God, say humanity is the main thing, which is not the complete understanding. Manava Seva is important because Madhava Seva करने के लिए भगवान ने मानवों को बनाया and they are his children. And when we don't understand this connection, Manav and Madhav, so when some kind of theories are supported which are against the Vedic scriptures, then that becomes an offense to the holy name. And इसके लिए हमको, therefore we need to be aware of what is there in the scriptures. Otherwise somebody comes and tells us something, we may start to believe this Devi, this Devata, anything. And Tatarthavadu, the fifth offense is to consider the glories of the holy names to be exaggerated. In advertisement industry, it's called as a hyperbole. You have seen the Ariel ads or the Rain Excel ads, that ऐसा चमकेगा कि सूरज भी उसके सामने कम पड़ जाएगा, फीका पड़ जाएगा. और the Fevicol has such a bonding that वो Fevicol का ad चल रहा है तो वो जो पकड़ा हुआ है वो गिर नहीं रहा है or something. You have seen all these kinds of hyperbole ads. So to exaggerate the glory of someone or something. So when scriptures are saying that the one holy name is so powerful that it can destroy more sins that we can commit, or we can commit in our entire lifetime. Like it is said the amount of energy that the sun throws on the earth planet per second is more than all the energy that we have utilized in the human history. इतना शक्ति सूरज से धरती को आता है. Of course, most of it is not utilized. So when we hear the glories of the holy name, then we may tend to not take it seriously, that this is too much. इसमें कुछ तो रहेगा. You know that famous story. Prabhupada was asked that, Swamiji, how did you make this miracle? Then Prabhupada said that, I just went there and chanted Hare Krishna and everything happened. Then this businessman was saying, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. There must be something. Please tell me. And Prabhupada was saying that that's all I did. The power. Everything else is a manifestation of that. All the strategy or anything, any support that I got. The main source is, therefore Prabhupada always uses, the secret is in the bead bag. That when we chant offenselessly, attentively, then the holy name's power is revealed. So to not be conscious or, or to be taking the power of the holy names to be an exaggeration. We hear Narayan, Ajamil ने एक बार chant किया और Yamadutas were evaded, were not allowed, Vishnudutas came. We are all chanting so many times. So, but we need to have that faith in the holy name. The rectification of fourth is to not defend them, is to know what do the scriptures say, and to be there are Rupa Goswami in the NOD says there are 3 levels of devotees. One is the neophyte Kanishta Bhakta, who are Komala Shraddha. They have just little bit of faith, but they don't have strong understanding. Their understanding is not there. They know it works, but they don't know why it works or how it works. Kanishta Dika. Then there is Madhyama, whose Shraddha is also strong, but his understanding is also there. The knowledge is also there. So he cannot be easily convinced by anyone. Otherwise, people, when they come to the temple, when they attend the kirtan, they like it, but when they go to some other place, because it is so komal, it is removed. The story of Prahlad's mother, Kayadu. So Kayadu was a devotee. When she was in Narad Muni's ashram, Prahlad became devotee, Kayadu became devotee. But when both came to Hiranyakashipu's palace, which might be more opulent than, say, Beverly Hills or whatever. So out of fear and out of all the opulence that is there, she just forgot about all the teachings that she got. Prahlad didn't forget, because Prahlad also had done, of course, he's Uttam Adhikari. So Uttam Adhikari is not just that he has strong faith, he has strong understanding, but he can also convince others to become devotees. The Radha Gopinath gives example of kabaddi. One who is Komal Shraddha, he just stays within that line. वो बस टच करके आएगा. तो जो थोड़ा सा है मध्यम, वो he will try to not get affected by others. किसी को कि कोई पकड़ लिया तो फिर भी भाग के आ जाएगा. बट उत्तम अधिकारी वो 4-5 लोगों को पकड़ के लेके आएगा, because he has that faith. So Prabhupada or any of the preachers are like that. Cannot see a presentation. It's proper. Where is my presentation? इधर ही आ रहा है क्या? अभी तक ठीक था ना? Thing happened.
टेस्टिंग चल रहा है ना
Share screen चल रहा है. So we'll take the sixth offense next time. Fifth तक हमने ले लिया. So 6, 7, 8, 9 we'll take next time.
फिफ्थ ऑफेंस का रेक्टिफिकेशन
Fifth offense का rectification. It is not to no to invest more of our faith that yes these are true. I am not able to get like in Chaitanya Charitamrita there were millions of devotees, and he says that please believe me, this is not an exaggeration. So for us, because it is so gigantic, like that no Dr. Frog, we have never seen the ocean, so we only calculated in our own small limits understanding, but the holy name is not restricted in that, and to have faith in the, therefore faith is a very strong element in our progress. That faith in the Vaishnavas, faith in the Dham. So when we go to the Dham, we see mud or dirt there. Then no, we have to have that inner conviction that beyond all this is the real Dham. Same way, the holy names glories are there. It is not a problem with the holy name, it is problem with me, that I am not able to chant properly, I am not able to overcome my anarthas, offenses properly, therefore I am not able to access. And another thing is that we'll come to that little bit in when we come to Trinadapi Sunicha. No? One of the aspects of bhakti is to not demand Krishna for immediate delivery. Even on Amazon, we cannot demand. What do you speak of Krishna? So Krishna takes his own sweet time. Not that he can't, but so that we get the best. Just few days back, I was somebody was showing me a clip where there was a hero that was the villain was in front of him, and uske paas banduk bhi tha. He could have just shot that villain, but instead of shooting that villain, he just throws the gun and says he starts to combat with him. And this villain was so powerful guy. So kaam khatam karo na. Why are you taking risk to not fight with this guy? But the entire fight sequence, it went such a way that almost the guy was the hero was supposed to be killed, and finally somehow he at the last moment he saves himself and the guy dies, the villain dies. Now even these movie makers, if they just make, okay, there was a hero, there was a villain, and the villain dies, there is no suspense, there is no, people don't watch such, people want thrill. So Krishna is an expert director. तो वो ऐसे ही कुछ अब हमारा जीवन का मूव ऐसे ही सिंपल स्क्रिप्ट नहीं बनाया उन्होंने. अभी क्या होगा, we are always on the edge of the seats. What will happen? And we have to depend on the script director. That just follow the script, whatever the devotees are telling you, everything will go well. So we'll take more of this. This is all just that word Durdaivam. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining that we need to understand, otherwise we won't get to the Trinadapi Sunichana verse in the proper spirit, proper mood. So I'll stop here. Any questions from any of our Zoom participants?
6 types of Vaishnava अपराध. Fifth वाला क्या था? 6 types of Vaishnava अपराध आपने one.
Fifth wala, yeah, just displaying it here. दिख रहा है? पता नहीं क्या हो गया. Something happened. Angry. Okay. Okay. Allow to unmute. Any of the our online participants have any questions?
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Very nice lecture.
Thank you, Shubhada Mataji. Sukada Mataji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, sorry for troubling you. Can you send the recording, please, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes. I'll send the recording.
And
We'll post
Prabhuji,
it on the
last
group.
time also I
His
missed
record,
it.
we should
Huh?
Prabhuji, last time's recording also, the first stanza
Oh,
which
okay,
you
okay.
did.
Sure, 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 sure.
Thank you,
Sure.
Prabhuji, so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so
if you
much.
could send all together 1 to 6.
Okay, let's log off chanting from 5. I should- Can you share the link of the Bhagavatam class? We are talking. Sure, sure. About. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. You are alert. That means that you remembered what I told. So I'll share that link. I'll share that link. Everyone, it's a must for devotees to hear that class on fault finding. It gave a lot of solace to when I heard it. Many devotees, a lot of research he did, lot of stories, collecting, analyzing almost every offense that happens in the Bhagavatam, and taking the gist of it, why it is an offense, how it can be avoided. So yes, very well analyzed it. We'll share that. Thank you all. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.